Right, next news. This is in The Economist. Oh, so the Arabs want them back. So it's so the Judeo-Islamic tradition now. So so standing near the beachfront in Dubai. Now Dubai are in serious. Let's just have a look at the economy of Dubai. They are in some serious doo-doo of Dubai, because they've been basically just on the ledge for all the British, well, all the white women to go there and dance for all the workers who basically built the place for them. The economy, private sector data can add. Dubai's non-oil private sector economy expands in March. Over 9,600 jobs created in Dubai last month. Nobody knows how Dubai's economy been doing lately. That's in Bloomberg from last month. Dubai, a haven for money in the Middle East. Dubai is losing its shine. That's in the Economic Times, November 2018. So the thing is now, is it that they open up a synagogue, and all of a sudden they're back in the money, or what is it? Dubai's first home festival launched. Bargains await home shoppers. All rush to Dubai then. Private sector data to contribute over $2.5 billion to Dubai's economy. Dubai resident files complaint over inability to reach next level of video games. Overnight, Dubai reinforces commitment to boosting ties with Latin America. I never even knew Dubai had ties with Thingy. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, Dubai's economy is dead. So that may sound unduly hopeful in the Arab world, which uprooted its 800,000 Jews in the decades after the creation of Israel. But surprising, Arab leaders from Morocco to Iraq are repeating the message. In February, Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said he would build new synagogues if the country's Jews returned. His government is restoring the El Hayawat Hanafi synagogue in Alexandria, one of the Middle East's largest, and also cleaning up the vast Jewish cemetery flooded with sewage in southern Cairo. And for the second time under Mr. Sisi, Egyptian television has scheduled a soap opera about Jews to run during the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan, and it tells of a soldier's steamy affair with a Jewish woman. Ooh, isn't that something? Now, this has been passed to me. It's called Black Cube, and it's basically a Black Cube. So a select group of elite Israeli intelligence community who specialises in tailored solutions to complex... Is it even real? I thought it was a TV company, a TV show. What's going on? It's supposed to be on the BBC, isn't it? Yeah, beginning in 2011, Black Cube provided intelligence services to Vincent Chengel, so in a number of cases. Anyway, you can watch that. But I think next I'll probably do some of this. China and Africa. Oh yeah, I'll do this one. Israel Prime Minister decides thousands of African migrants must leave. April 3rd, 2018. Okay, so that's old news. IDF will shoot African infiltrators. Israeli official tells shocked activists. It's nice for them, isn't it? Angry residents of South Tel Aviv tell Ynet that a UN plan what, to resolve the issue of African migrants in Israel has been secretly, and this is on the 14th of the 3rd this year, has been secretly revised and recounts a shocking conversation they had with the head of the Population and Immigration Authority. The United Nations plan to resolve the issue of African migrants in Israel has been secretly revised by the government, Ynet has learned. The renewal of the plan was leaked by activists from South Tel Aviv who are furious at the prospect of almost 40,000 migrants being allowed to remain in the country. Even more shocking, the activists say, is a call by a head of Israel's Immigration Authority for the IDF to open fire on Africans who subsequently sail into Israel seeking asylum. Exactly a year ago, the issue of African migrants in Israel topped the public agenda, but since an expulsion plan agreed to United Nations fell through, the issue was dropped from the headlines with a few weeks to go until the April 9th elections. No party has taken a stand on the issue and no solution seems to have progressed. So, I don't know what Israel elections are, is it? So, look, shall we? Hey, updated yesterday. If you had election day as it happened, Netanyahu won. What a surprise. And Benny Gantz both declare win. Netanyahu may have an edge. So what's going on? Is that oh my, why didn't anyone tell me? So they both claim victory. Flaming hell, there's the BBC. If anyone knows, Alan Yentob knows. Alan Yentob's nose. Do you know what? Let's just go to Alan Yentob while we're here. This man has everything that is out him there. This Jew has the BBC at his fingertips. One of my mates said, he doesn't look very Jewish, does he? I don't think there's a Jewy Jew in Jewtown, and that Jew looks Jewish. Alan Yentob, Alan Yentob is an English television executive and presenter, and he spent his entire career at the BBC, where he stepped down as creative director in December 2015 and served as chairman of the board of trustees for Kids Company from 2003 until the collapse of the charity. How many charities do you know that actually collapse? And especially collapse with 3 million quid that go missing. 3 million quid that was given by the British government to said charity that just went missing. Oh yeah, so Alan Yentob, the English BBC man, was born into an Iraq Jewish family in Stepney, London. So he's not that English then, is he? After he was born, his family moved to Manchester, where his father ran a textile business, Dewhurst Dent, in which he still owns a 10% share. He grew up in Didsbury, a suburb of Manchester, and returned to London with his family when he was 12 to live in a flat in Park Lane. Park Lane is like mega rich. There's only Mayfair, on the Monopoly boards, Mayfair and Park Lane. That in London, that's decent. In London, a cardboard box on at the side of the pavement, you can pay like £1 million per square. ridiculous. He was a boarder at the independent King's School in Ely, Cambridgeshire. And, you know, you can bet you that's not a poor school. So it's one of the oldest schools in the world, basically. And he went there, you know, the persecuted Iraqi English Jew. So he passed his A-levels and studied at the Sorbonne in Paris. And the Sorbonne, as we all know, is the most famous school for the economics. You know, that's not a bad place to be there thinking, is it? How the heck did he come from Iraq to be head of the BBC? So he went on to study law at Leeds University, and that's a prestigious law school there. It's a public research university of Leeds, England. It was established in 1874 as the Oxford College of Science. So it's well prestigious anyway. So where he got involved in student drama. Well, as we know, lawyers do like their drama, and there's a hell of a lot of kosher lawyers out there. So he graduated with a lower second-class degree, a 2-2. He graduated with a 2-2. Yentob joined the BBC as a trainee in the BBC World Service. Right, here we go. You've never heard anything like this. In 1968, as its only non-Oxbridge graduate that year, 9 Oxbridges, Oxford, Cambridge, even though he went to school at King Ely School. I don't think it's part of the Oxbridge, Oxford, Cambridge University set. 9 months later, he moved into TV. In fact, I think there was a film made, Chariots of Fire. Might want to check that out. So he moved into TV to become the assistant director on arts programs. Like just write your CV right now and send it to the BBC to be the assistant director on arts programs, and let me know how you get on. So in 1973 he became the producer and director working on the high-profile documentary series Omnibus, for which in 1975 he made a film called Cracked Actor about the musician David Bowie. In 1975 he helped initiate another BBC documentary series. Anyway, he's just basically got. So in 1993 he was promoted to the controller of BBC One, responsible for the output of the BBC's Premier Channel. He remained in the post for 3 years until 1996. He was promoted again to become BBC Television's overall director of programmes. The appointment was only a brief one, however, before a reorganisation of the BBC's executive committee led to the creation of a new post filled by Yentob, our English Iraqi Jewish English guy who doesn't look Jewish. So he was the director of drama, entertainment and children's. This placed Yentob in overall supervision of the BBC's output in these 3 genres across all media, radio, television and internet. He occupied this post until June 2004, when the new BBC Director General Mark Thompson reorganised the BBC's executive committee and promoted Yentob to the new post of BBC Creative Director, responsible for overseeing BBC creative output across television, radio and interactive services. He also began to present BBC programmes. These have included a series on the life of Leonardo da Vinci, and from 2003 a new regular art series, Imagine. One episode of Imagine as Yentob, the World Wide Web. It explored the World Wide Web, blogging, user-created contacts, and even the use of English Wikipedia, exploring people, blah blah. Anyway, so we were promoted again, and again, and again, and again, and he's just like you just ran out of promotions, so you just have to just keep promoting them, and that's his job now. He just gets promoted day in, day out. Like, even during break time he can be sitting there and just it's written in his contract that he has to be promoted like every 4 minutes. In 2005, Yentop was awarded an honorary Doctor of Letters at De Montfort University, Leicester. I bet he never even bothered to turn up. On the 16th of March, unless there was a freebie in it for him, on the 16th of March 2010, Yentop and Nigella Lawson opened the Jewish Museum London in Camden Town. Nigella Lawson's daughter, she's the one who's oh, I'm going to take some blancmange, I'm going to lick it on my lips and put it on my tongue, and you can all watch. Then I'm going to take some of this sauce, yes, sauce, and then I'm going to put it on my lips and put it on, and that's all she does. She is useless, but the dangerous thing about her is that she's she's a daughter of one of the 6 Jews who was in the Thatcher, what is it? You know Maggie Thatcher? Jews created Thatcherism. How about that? So you know all this, how British Jews built Thatcherism. That's on Haaretz. Margaret Thatcher, the honorary Jew. Thatcher and the Jews. You know, when you think about our greatest Jewish Prime Minister, Mrs. Thatcher asked if I was Jewish. Margaret Thatcher, an embedding Zionist in the Jewish Chronicle. Now Margaret Thatcher's family sheltered an Austrian Jew, meet the little-known Jewish man behind Britain's Thatcherist. Should we do that? Margaret Thatcher's special relationship with Britain's Jews. And this, what's her name? Not Camilla. Nigella Lawson, who opens up the Jewish Museum with Mr. Yentop there. Shlomo Yentop. She's the daughter of, Keith Joseph, is it right? Well, there's Thatcher anyway, being hounded by loads of Jews. So, Nigella Lawson is the daughter of Nigel Lawson. How imaginative is that? There he is, there. Little Jew. Is he dead yet? No, he's not dead. Got loads of kids though. Loads of spawn. So in 2009 he was revealed to have accumulated a pension of 6 million, giving an annual retirement income of 216,000 for the rest of his life. This is one of the biggest pensions in the public sector. He also earns 200,000 to 249,000 as BBC contributor and presenter. He's paid a declared salary of 183,000 by the BBC, but additional income from the BBC for presenting and other roles is reputed to earn him an extra £150,000 British, bringing his BBC income to an estimated 333,000. 333,000. Who is it now who likes the number 33 and 6 million? He has been on the boards of trustees of the Architecture Foundation. He's been involved with several charities. A Jew in the charities? Oh, there's a novelty. Yentop resigned as BBC's creative director in December 2015 in the wake of allegations that he had sought to influence the BBC's coverage of the kids' company's scandal. Poor little Jew. The poor little Jew. Let's have a look at Philippa Walker, shall we? Who he's married to. Philippa Walker. No. I wonder if that one's... That's not you. Alan and Hobbs. Oh yeah. Yeah. There it is. The magical couple with the endless pockets. The bottomless pit of checks. Care of the BBC. Just a happy-go-lucky Jew. Persecuted all the way. That's his daughter Bella. Like, who was it who said? Someone said about someone had said about the charity thing that it was the most gobbledygook thing that they'd ever heard of. Anyway, you can check all that out for yourself. Oh yeah, there it is. The appearance before the select committee. So the select committee is like it's a pretty heavy deal. Like it's part of the parliamentary process. Because it's select committee. I mean, it's not like Britain is some backwater. Select committee. Welsh MPs star a musical version of Commons Inquiry. Well, isn't that typical? There it is. Yentop grilled at select committee. Let's see what.
It has been remarked to me that such a senior and interested figure from the BBC to stand beside the producer, so that the producer is thinking what I say to whoever is interviewing the interviewee is going to be heard by a very senior figure who has a conflict of interest in this matter. Don't you think that was...
Can I put it in perspective? They invited me to be on the programme, and I said, well, I'll bring
Then you should behave more like a guest rather than as a...
Well, I think, in all of this,
The defensive
you have to understand that for all these years, I've been there to support these children. I have disclosed my position. No, I don't think it was... I'm not a particular...
In retrospect, was it really appropriate for you to go and stand behind the producer so you could hear what he was telling?
I didn't stand behind the producer. Well, you see it differently. I just thought I was there to listen to what Camilla said, and this is an organisation that I'm familiar with. So,
but in retrospect, was it a sense...
Well, if it was intimidating, I regret it. Put it that way. Yes.
I think that's a good thing to have put on the record.
That's called Yentop grilled at select committee. And there's nearly 6,000 views there, nearly. And no likes or dislikes, so just give that a dislike. Right, well, that's all you're getting. Alan Yentop company allegations are disgraceful, says the Jew. Disgraceful.